This is Radko Kadim, and welcome to this video. This is biology, and we'll be looking at variation. So if you're new to this channel, please make sure that you do subscribe so that you don't miss any information, or rather the update. So we are going to define what variation is, and then from there we'll look at the types of variation, and then also look at maybe the effect of each of those variations. Okay, so when you talk about variation, we are simply saying that so variation, you can just say this. Okay, let me just say these are just differences differences that exist among species or even individuals. Okay, so what this means is that when you're looking at variation, you look at something that you're able to see outside an organism, the appearance. Okay, so now in terms of variation, you also have what is known as the types of variations. So the first one we have is a continuous. Okay, continuous variation. So continuous variation So what is continuous variation? So continuous variation this is the variation in which the differences, and say the differences so in which the differences are not clear. Okay, in which the differences are not clear. For example, you can have maybe the weight, maybe the height, okay, even the color complexion. Okay, color complexion, or just simply skin color. Okay, so what this means that the differences are not clear when you look at, for example, in terms of the tallness, or rather the height of individuals. You find that maybe someone is 1.3, the other one is 1.2, the other one is 1. Let's say 4, and just like that. So when you look at these numbers, it is just basically like the differences does not exist. Okay, now what you need to understand is that the height, maybe the weight, the skin complexion, so these this kind of variation Okay, so this kind of variation is affected by the environment. Example, in terms of skin complexion, when you go to the US or maybe China or even Russia, because of the weather, the environment, and so on, you find that some of the genes will be activated that will be able to respond in terms of how your color is coming out, how your height, in terms of, for example, that, and so on. Yeah, so all those will be affected. Okay, now the other type of now before I get to that, sometimes you can have a simple graph. Okay, a simple graph that shows maybe the height of certain individuals. Okay, like for example, okay, so something like that. Okay, so you discover that when you look at the height of the people, okay, so the height and maybe the height versus individual A, B, C, and D. So you find that the differences that exist in terms of the height is negligible. Of course, this one seems to be taller, but they are just within the same range. Okay, so what about the other type of variation? So the other type of variation is discontinuous. Okay, so the other type of variation is continuous. So in this type of variation, the differences are very clear. Okay, so the differences are very clear. Okay, so this is a type of variation in which differences are clear, e.g., say male and female. Okay, this is like gender. Okay, so you cannot be in between of male and female. So if you're male, you're 100% male. If you're female, you're 100% female. And then another kind of example that you can give under discontinuous is blood group. Blood group. So blood group. So if you belong to blood group A, maybe, or AB, or just the blood group B and O. Okay, so you cannot be in between the blood groups. So if you are in A, you are in A. If you are in AB, you are in AB. Okay, and then also we have the tongue. Okay, or the tongue rolling. Okay. So there are people that it is inborn, someone who can roll the tongue like an inborn person with such a characteristic. It's different from someone who is just learning, for example. Okay, so tongue rolling, blood group, male, female, yeah. And then the other thing is that so note this is not affected by the environment. So if you are female, you go to America, you go to USA, you go to China, you'll still be female. If you're male, you go to South Africa, you go to anywhere. So the environment is actually not going to affect you in terms of those characteristics, in terms of being male, female, or in terms of just the blood group that you belong to. So this is all you need to know about variation. Okay. Now, in our next video, we'll look at what is mutation. Okay, what is mutation? So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.